Senator Ossoff has joined us. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you to our panelists here in person and remotely for your testimony and expertise. Ms. Carney, I appreciate the work that you do, and we've got a 6-month-old daughter at home. My wife is a fourth-year medical resident working 60-plus hours a week. The challenges of child nutrition have become personal to me and clear to me in ways that previously I could only hear others describe. I'd like, if you wouldn't mind, Ms. Carney, for you to discuss in your experience the particular challenges that working moms and lower income moms have getting nutrition to infant babies, and how you work around that in your role in the healthcare space.
Can you hear me?
Now I can. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, Senator. Yeah, I'd be glad to address that question. I've been working with moms and babies pretty much my entire career, and as a registered dietitian, as I mentioned before, we know that human breast milk is the ideal feeding for infants. Many mothers may start out breastfeeding, and they may, breastfeed for a few weeks, for as long as they have maternity leave. And I've noticed a huge drop off once mothers have to return to work. So many moms, even though we have some regulations in this country that state that every business over 50 employees has to have a mother's room or a private clean space for mothers to go express their milk, many companies and businesses still aren't doing that, or else mothers are embarrassed, or they're afraid that they'll have retaliation and not be able to continue to do their job if they take breaks to express their milk. And by the way, mothers have to express their milk during the day if they want to maintain their milk supply. So that is an absolute must for mothers that want to continue breastfeeding, and they express at work, and usually that milk that they collect on one day is used for the baby's feedings the next day. So that's how it works, practically speaking. But so many mothers, like I said, are come up against challenges and roadblocks. And not only that, but mothers who are in lower paying jobs are sort of subject to even more discrimination in that aspect. I've found that, say, if you're working at Taco Bell, I mean, and you're at the window, when are you going to go take a break and say, oh, watch the window, I've got to go pump my milk? I mean, they're just not able to do that. It's just not accepted as the norm. So if I could have my wish, and somebody mentioned a magic wand, I would just wish that all mothers could get education prenatally and know how to start breastfeeding and continue breastfeeding if they do return to work. And this comes with education again, and with support. It takes a lot of support to continue to do that. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Carney. I want to follow up with you as well, and just if you wouldn't mind expanding your reflection based on your experience of the challenges that working moms in particular have accessing some of the services and products that can be most helpful, whether it's lactation expertise, particularly in the first few months of a baby's life, when it might be a first-time mother and a newborn baby, as well as access to breast pumps and the affordability of breast pumps, which are necessary for those mothers to express while they're at work, and then the storage of the breast milk.
Great questions. Yeah, and I can look at this in two ways. First of all, if we're talking about lower income mothers or WIC participants, I have to salute the WIC program for the breastfeeding support that they've given, especially over the last, say, 15, 20 years. They've really stepped up and supported breastfeeding for those moms. I will say that I think that they could use some more experts in the WIC program. There are many dietitians who are employed in the WIC program, and many of them do have some extra education in clinical lactation, but there needs to be more so that more access to this professional care can be obtained by WIC moms and lower income moms. The WIC program has provided, I know, lots of different supplies to help the mothers be successful at breastfeeding. For instance, you mentioned breast pumps, also, other things, bra pads, bras, other devices that mothers might need if they run into a problem. And the other one is mothers that have insurance. For instance, when I work at St. Jude, I provide prenatal breastfeeding classes for employees. I think, working in a world-renowned pediatric cancer institute, we should all be about the best nutrition for our own children. So I help employees prenatally with education, and postnatally, I'm kind of the unofficial, maybe if you want to say unofficial lactation consultant in the hospital. And I have many moms, our physicians, our nurses, our researchers, our PhDs, even my own dietitians on my staff. They need help and support. And so I love to give that. And I think, other institutions hopefully are doing that too. And the one problem is that we need more dietitians as lactation consultants and to support that. And also mothers need access to that, even if they do have insurance. That's another story, but I hope that answers the question for you a little bit.
Thank you. We also need guaranteed parental leave in this country. Ms. Contreras, I'd like to ask you for your perspective in my brief remaining time. What are the recommendations you might have for Congress for policies that could expand access and lower the cost of, for example, breast pumps, other consumer products that are vital for mothers who are breastfeeding in the first months of a newborn's life and also working? And also, do you have any reflections, or do you want to go back and maybe bring something to us for the record on access to lactation expertise and consultancy, which can be so vital for particularly first-time moms? And that'll be my last question. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, if I have time to respond, then I'm happy to do so
Madam
now.
Chair, can she respond?
Or I can submit
No,
it.
it's fine.
Thank you so much. Go right ahead, please. The floor is yours.
Okay, great. Yeah. Yeah. So, I think that one of the things of making products more accessible is, of course, including it in, coverage. I think that it was huge when consumers, or when health insurance companies started reimbursing and covering breast pumps. That didn't happen until, recently. And that was a huge issue that helped to make it more accessible. So if we could think about, how do we support moms as they go back to work, all of those things that they need could be covered by health insurance. It could be provided, a lot of times these services and support to moms are provided by nonprofit organizations, local community support organizations. And, it's great that there are a lot of community-based organizations out there, but they're just helping moms to navigate the already complicated, health insurance and plans and support that they need. So if it's one thing I could say is that we want to make sure that, that moms are better able to support it, to navigate, accessing all this and having health insurance plans help to cover it.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, very good. Senator Lee, do you want to ask a few more questions, and then I could close out?